The world holds its breath. An uneasy silence hangs in the air. A stillness before a storm everyone fears is coming. Tensions between the United States and Russia, simmering for years, have finally reached a boiling point. The delicate dance of diplomacy has faltered, and now the drums of war are beating a deafening rhythm across the globe. High above, in the cold, silent void of space, a network of satellites watches everything. These orbital sentinels, the unsleeping eyes of nations, track every movement, every subtle shift. On the ground, the gears of war are turning with terrifying speed. Armies are on the move. Convoys of tanks, their steel treads churning up earth, roll across contested borders under the cover of darkness. Fighter jets, with a deafening roar that splits the sky, scream through the atmosphere, their mission profiles locked and loaded. In the icy waters of the Arctic and the strategic choke points of the oceans, naval fleets cut through the waves, submarines lurking beneath, unseen but ever-present threats. In cities thousands of miles from any front line, life has changed. A palpable sense of dread hangs over the morning commute, the school run, the daily routines. Citizens look to the skies, wondering if peace is still a possibility or just a fading memory from a bygone era. Emergency broadcast tests are no longer just tests. They are a chilling reminder of what could come. Then it begins. Streaks of light arc across the night sky, beautiful and terrifying. Missiles, launched from hidden silos and mobile platforms, race across continents at hypersonic speeds. In response, defense systems roar to life. A desperate high-stakes ballet plays out in the upper atmosphere as interceptors launch, some finding their targets in brilliant flashes of light, others missing, allowing their deadly payloads to continue on their path. Simultaneously, a new kind of warfare unfolds, silent but equally devastating. Cyberattacks, launched by unseen digital armies, cripple the world's infrastructure. Communication lines go dead, plunging millions into an information blackout. Banking systems freeze, halting the flow of money and commerce. Power grids flicker and fail, casting major cities into darkness and chaos. The modern world, so reliant on its digital backbone, is fractured in an instant. On screens, in command bunkers buried deep underground, the world is a map of flashing lights. Territories glow in hostile red and ominous blue. Arrows connect capitals, tracing the flight paths of incoming strikes and the projections of military strategists. Here, in these windowless rooms, leaders huddle over tactical displays, their faces grim, illuminated by the cold light of the screens. They weigh decisions that will not just alter the course of a battle, but could rewrite human history forever. The traditional concept of a battlefield has evaporated. It is no longer just land, sea, or air. The conflict is everywhere. In the digital realm of cyberspace, elite hackers clash in a furious, invisible war, attempting to dismantle enemy defenses and sow confusion. In the skies, satellites and high-altitude drones become both predators and prey, capturing every detail of the conflict from above while dodging anti-satellite weapons. On the ground, propaganda is a weapon in itself, spreading across social media and news networks, fueling fear, uncertainty, and division among populations. The human cost becomes immediately apparent. Sirens wail through deserted city streets as civilians are urged to evacuate. Lines of cars stretch for miles, people fleeing with whatever they can carry, their faces a mixture of fear and disbelief. In the cities left behind, makeshift defenses are erected, and the remaining population prepares for a siege. The echo of emergency alerts a constant companion. As the conflict ignites, the world is forced to choose sides. Secret alliances, forged in the shadows of diplomacy, are suddenly revealed. Neighboring nations watch with bated breath, some mobilizing their own forces in preparation to intervene. Others declaring a desperate neutrality, hoping to weather the storm without being drawn into the vortex. The global order carefully constructed over decades begins to unravel. The economic fallout is swift and brutal. As global markets plummet as panic sets in, the price of oil skyrockets, disrupting supply chains and triggering fuel shortages. The specter of food scarcity looms as agricultural production is disrupted and trade routes are severed. The world economy, a complex and interconnected system, teeters on the brink of a total collapse, threatening to plunge billions into poverty and hardship. Amidst this global crisis, the full military might of the superpowers is unleashed. Epic battles erupt in the skies, over contested territories, in the depths of the oceans, and across sprawling deserts. The air is filled with the cacophony of war, the roar of jet engines, thunder of distant explosions, and the piercing scream of air raid sirens. It is a symphony of destruction, broadcast live on screens around the world. Behind the scenes, the intelligence war rages on. Agencies work around the clock, trying to decipher encrypted communications, analyze satellite imagery, and predict the enemy's next move. In this high-stakes chess game, a single piece of bad intelligence or a single miscalculation could lead to an unstoppable escalation, a catastrophe that no one can control. Yet, even in the darkest hours of this global conflict, incredible moments of human courage shine through. Stories emerge of soldiers risking their own lives to shield civilians from harm, from medics and first responders running towards the danger, not away from it, behind closed doors, away from the cameras and the battlefields. Diplomats work tirelessly, engaging in clandestine negotiations, desperately searching for an off-ramp, a path back to peace. On the tactical maps, the front lines are in constant flux. Each update shows shifting territories, small victories, and devastating losses. The sheer unpredictability of the conflict is a source of constant tension. As days bleed into weeks, the world feels the immense weight of the struggle. Infrastructure in key regions collapses, while other areas dig in, preparing for a prolonged, attritional war. The tension is a physical thing, a knot in the stomach of every person on the planet. One misstep, one accidental strike on a critical target, and the unimaginable could become reality. As the story of this great and terrible war continues to unfold, the ultimate questions remain unanswered. Can reason prevail over the raw impulse of force? Can humanity, armed with weapons of its own extinction, find a path to survival when the most powerful nations on Earth clash with their full might? The lights on the map continue to pulse. Missile silos remain on high alert. Armies stand ready. Every citizen, every soldier, every leader waits, watches, and wonders. In this new, fractured world, who will survive? Who will have the strength, or the luck, to lead what comes next? And perhaps the most haunting question of all, in a war of this scale, can there ever be a true winner? The world is waiting for the answer. Thank you for watching. If you found this exploration thought-provoking, please consider subscribing for more deep dives into the critical issues shaping our world.